Hi, friends. I'm David Averin.
And I'm Tiffany Lingle.
And we are here because our friends and colleagues are hurting, because our industry has been decimated, as all of you well know. We don't need to talk about the dumpster fire. We don't need to talk about the P word, pivot, because we've all worked on that and tried to do it. Some have been more successful than others. Now, many of you know Tiffany and I because we've been around for a lot of years. Tiffany and I have worked together for almost 10 years. We had some very well-attended sessions, pre-conference and other sessions at NSA. A couple hundred of you have made the pilgrimage to Colorado for our Speaking Business Retreat, which we retired a couple of years ago because we don't want to be the retreat people. But that said, we have been surprised at the amount of people that have reached out to us in recent weeks asking, how are you doing this? How are you having success in this time when so many are struggling? Now, listen, we're struggling like everybody else, but we've made a significant change in our business and how we do what we do. We have been very conscious in redefining what virtual is. I think our industry had demonstrated for years that it wasn't willing to compensate webinars in a reasonable way. And all of a sudden, everybody's doing webinars. People are shifting to Zoom and virtual at the same time that everybody's getting tired of Zoom and virtual, and Zoom fatigue is a real thing. How do we reconcile that as an industry? At the same time, some have pivoted successfully and had a measure of success, while others, colleagues and friends of ours, are losing homes, they're losing businesses, they're sleeping in their car, dead serious. And it hurts our heart as we talk about this. Now, the shift that we've made was out of fear like everybody else. We've got families to support, and we've had a good measure of success. I've done 51 virtual speaking gigs in 5 countries since everything shut down. I don't say that to boast, but to remind you, it's because we have to. I have staff, I have kids, I've got kids in college, and I don't have the luxury of wringing my hands. I don't have the luxury of walking in nature and journaling and all of these ridiculous bits of advice that people have given each other. Listen, I understand the importance of self-care, but we cannot have another year like this as an industry, as individuals, and as our friends and colleagues. So the request came to us and said, would you be willing to revisit your retreat? Would you be willing to update and enhance it to talk about what's different, what's the same, what are you doing in terms of process and structure and business, but also what are you doing differently that you're able to book virtual presentations, paid ones, and what do you see for 2021? I'm going to give you a preview. We see amazing things for 2021. Don't believe any of the surveys you read from meeting planners 3 months ago. The world is different and the world is opening up. We have multiple vaccines. Associations and others have to meet. There's going to be an explosion third and fourth quarter of 2021 because associations, other organizations know that if they don't meet, they're going to lose members. If they don't meet, they're going to lose sponsors. Even for those members who generally don't avail themselves of all the member benefits, at least they go to the annual meeting, chance to see their colleagues and break bread and the serendipity of those unexpected encounters in the hallways between sessions. You know what I mean? Being able to touch and feel and see the new products and the showcases and the trade shows and others, they have to meet and they're going to. So how are we pitching virtual live and virtual in-person live? Because it's coming in a big way. Some are prepared, most are not. Most of our colleagues have not made the pivot. Estimates are showing 50% or more of our colleagues will leave the speaking business, will lose their business, or at least the speaking part of it. We're not going to let that happen. So we had a lot of requests. And so Tiffany and I put our heads together and said, all right, if we're going to do this one time, we have to provide profound value. And so I'm going to talk about the changes in the business, the change in my approach to redefining what virtual live looks like in a way that's worthy of being compensated. And Tiffany's, as many of you know, is the marketing and the business and the sales genius. And she's going to cover how we have pivoted our business and what the next year looks like. Tiffany, tell us what we're going to cover.
Absolutely. First and foremost, we are going to go in and we are going to reinforce what the foundation of your marketable speaking business looks like. What it was 9 months ago is not what it is today. We are going to take a look at that prospecting model because that's changed as well. We're going to go over the free directories and we're going to talk about your target markets and how to find those prospects, those personal prospects I have a new service that I use that is allowing me to find those elusive emails that aren't on the website that you can't find through Google search. So we're going to talk about that app that I use. The saying is never more true than right now. You don't get a second chance to make a first impression. And building those relationships in a different way than it was 9 months ago is key to what I am working on right now. We're going to go in and we're going to review my outreach program from the first email to the second email. And the second email isn't what it used to be. I'm using video emails. I'm using personal emails. I'm seeing who's open to those emails. We have a touch point through a mail program. We have thank you cards on an online service. There's a lot of different tactics that we're using now that we weren't doing 9 months ago to make the outreach that much better and that much more personal. And we're going to share that with you.
And it has to be different. And the messaging
Absolutely.
is different because I'm going to tell you, I think as a profession, I think we shot ourselves in the foot. When this all started, in our desperate attempt to demonstrate value and provide value and deliver value, we have devalued our profession. We were inundated. The marketplace was inundated with 3 months of emails for free webinars on how to survive COVID-19. Last time I checked, there's not a person alive today who has successfully transcended a pandemic. Excuse me, but apparently everybody was an expert. What we did was we trained the industry to undervalue what we do and to not compensate. I think it's going to take years to recover in some ways. So much of what we're going to talk about is how do we justify to the meeting planners and others that this is worth not just scheduling, but it's worth compensating on a really high level, not just virtual and virtual live, but live in person as well, because there will always be a hybrid. I think in many ways, this has accelerated what has long been predicted about where the industry is going to go, and not everybody's going to make it. And we want to make sure that you do. So here's what we're doing. We're doing a session coming up on Tuesday, the 22nd of December. So we're going to do a morning session, 4 hours, half day. On the East Coast, it's 10 till noon. In Denver, it's 10 till 2 on the East Coast, 8 till noon in Denver. And where Tiffany is out in Seattle, it's going to be 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. So we're gonna have a really good structure. We are limited to 100 people based on the platform that we have, as interactive as you need it to be. And not only are we going to go all the way in those 4 hours, but we're going to stay as long as you want. For any Q&A, we're going to walk you through this. I think we have a vested interest in all of us getting better. If we're going to be compensated, we need you to be better. You need us to be better. As a profession, not everybody's going to make it. And the ones who are good at this, who are fundable, and who have altered their message and their titling and the things that make them relevant for today. So the cost is only $189. That's it. No special deals, no 2-for-1. Until it's filled, that's it. We're going to do it one time and one time only, and it's not going to be available afterwards. This is not our business. I'm a keynoter, I'm a consultant, as many of you are as well. And we're going to put in a couple of weeks, and we're going to put together great tangible content. You're going to know most of the people on the call as well. So go to the website. It's here in this email, and it'll be right here below my finger as I put it in post-production. Virtual Speaking Business Retreat.com, virtualspeakingbusinessretreat.com. All the information is there. You can sign up. You're going to get a special login for you and you only, just for those who pay for this. It justifies the time that we're going to take, but we want everybody to start 2021 in much better shape. We care. We want to help. We've had a good measure of success, and we all learn from each other. So this can be a great session for that. Anything else, Tiffany?
That is it. And we hope to see you there.
Register today. Bye.